I joined the judiciary in the year 2009 as an intern and research assistant for the retired Chief Justice, Honorable Marupindi Botelo. I was then permanently employed as a trainee magistrate in May of 2010. And at the time, I was based in Palape Magistrate Court. I moved through the ranks and transferred to various magisterial stations in the country until my current station, which is Mahalape Magistrate Court, where I am the head of station, holding the rank of principal magistrate. I was one of the first batch of trainees to be trained on Botswana Inclusive Justice, which was planned for April 2022. And that is how I came into contact with this project. At the time, I was just part of the participants who were being trained, and the training was held at Pakalani Golf Estates in Gaborone. Having bought into the project and its aim in bolstering the capacity of judicial officers in Botswana, I later on attended the trainers training to fully equip me for the task at hand. It was pretty awesome. In fact, the tale of how it all came about is what fascinates me the most. As earlier on stated, I was just part of the participants when one of the trainers for the next session unfortunately was taken ill and became indisposed as a result. I was then approached to stand in for her the very next day. I was finished with the manual, prepared to train the delegates. I don't want to lie, it was a daunting task, looking at the caliber of attendees, which were judges, magistrates, registrars, and senior attorneys. I was to present on the rights of the transgender persons with reference to the case commonly referred to as the ND case here in Botswana. It was thrilling, to say the least, and quite an eye-opener, as it was a learning curve for me. It is embarrassing, I have to admit, as it may be, that I had no idea at the time of the presence of the transgender persons in our jurisdiction, let alone a judicial decision on it. So on reading the case, I became inquisitive and went on to do more research on the law, which widened my knowledge in the area, and my awareness about the LGBTQ was enhanced. So in conclusion, I pleasantly surprised myself, and yeah, that's how I found myself as a trainer. And as to the issue on the other judges that I have met involved in this project, oh, wow. Okay. I've met both inspirational and exciting men and women through this project. First, the Honorable Chief Justice, Terence Ranwane, graced the launch of the project. And since then, he has shown tremendous support by ensuring that the training is rolled out to all judicial officers and the support staff as a whole. And one other judge that stands out that I met through the project, and also I've met her through the International Association of Women Judges. It's Judge Sanji Monageng. She happened to have been part of the delegation that drafted the Yogi Principles. She was present in our trainings to explain the reasons behind the promulgation of same. And then in one of those trainings at the launch, we had the retired Judge President of the Court of Appeal of Botswana, Honorable Justice Ian Kebi. He was part of the panelists, and he explained the two decisions of the Court of Appeal being the Kanani case and the Musidimang. What struck me in his presentation was how he was able to explain that during the decision, the Kanani decision, Botswana was not yet ready for the current changes on the rights of the LGBTQ. And that is then, the changes were then brought about by the Musidimang case since the attitudes had changed. There were other judges that I have not mentioned by name, who have played a huge role in this project. They have been empathetic, supportive, and truly display their understanding of inclusive justice, which is the driving force behind the project. They have mentored me on how to better my training skills. It is common for that to happen, especially in the Botswana society. The bedrock of their religion is Christianity. So yes, they say that a whole lot of times that their religion teaches them that it's wrong for the LGBTQI society to be protected. And how do I respond to such comments? In as much as I accommodate their views, I nonetheless emphasize that inclusive justice is about ensuring that everyone in the human race enjoys human rights, regardless of their sexual orientation. Hence, the decisions by our courts to protect same. I explain also to them that for one to understand the above, it takes training to demystify such beliefs that they hold. The first thing that I've learned is that I'm good at it. I'm good at training. Anyway, jokes aside, on a serious note, I've learned that one must avoid being stereotypical. It has taught me to be more aware of these members of our society, especially in the courtroom setting. I don't just assume because a person presents a certain way, automatically I have to place them in a certain box. Everyone deserves equal protection of the law. Women, men, children, and this includes the members of the LGBTQI community. The one thing that I will state is that loving each other will make it much more easier for us to be tolerant as a people, as a community, especially to anyone who is different from ourselves. And this includes the LGBTQI community. And I would love to quote what was held in the Ramoge case here in Botswana, where it was stated, open quotes, members of the gay, lesbian, and transgender community, although no doubt a small minority and unacceptable to some on religious or other grounds, form part of the rich diversity of any nation, and are fully entitled in Botswana, as in any other progressive state, to the constitutional protection of their dignity. Fundamental freedoms are to be enjoyed by every member of every class of society, the rich, the poor, the disadvantaged, citizens and non-citizens, and even criminals and social outcasts, subject only to the public interest and respect for the rights and freedoms of others. Those rights can only be limited or curtailed to the extent allowed in the other provisions of the Constitution of Botswana, close quotes. Thank you so much.